listening to Shoot It Now, your weekly podcast about indie filmmaking and big-budget films with award-winning filmmaker Craig Newland.
The Crown is such a runaway hit for Netflix, and here you are playing an influential role as Tommy Lascelles, the private secretary to both King George VI and Queen Elizabeth II.
Tommy Lascelles lived from 1887 to 1981. He died at the age of 94. He started in the time of Queen Victoria, and he lived long enough to see the fireworks for Charles and Diana's wedding.
It's sweeter if you can attach talent. There were some actors they were interested in, but Kevin was absolutely our first choice.
That can't hurt. Kevin Costner and Diane Lane as your two leads.
Such a roller coaster of emotions that you're like, okay, that's once in a lifetime opportunity to do a movie in a coffin. I cannot think of a smaller space to do a movie.
And Ryan Reynolds is not just acting, but he is also working with you on the lighting for the whole film, it seems to me.
Ryan was my gaffer on that movie because he wanted to be challenged as an actor, and Ryan really impressed me, and so he could be very technical. You could tell him, look, in that moment, just point the torch in this direction, it bounces you, and he would be crying on that scene and he would still do it.
Tell me about the way that you shot Babylon Berlin, because you are all directors.
The strange thing is, I think this is a concept that would not work on a different show. Babylon Berlin is a mosaic or a panoramic view of a city in a certain time.
And what's more difficult for you, editing a compelling dialogue-driven scene or an action scene?
The most difficult scene to edit is a long dialogue scene. I've had the odd director raise their eyebrows when I've said that, but I think action scenes are easier in a lot of ways. The action tends to drive the edit to some extent, whereas a complex dialogue scene will often have a lot of story, a lot of important moments in it, and you've got to hold the audience.
You've been listening to Shoot It Now with Craig Newland, your weekly podcast about all things behind the camera and in front of it. Until next time, have a great week.